Digital has grown phenomenally, and we hear about it and work with it every day. The internet is much more powerful now than it used to be. It's almost hard to imagine websites as simple static pages and not as the rich, interactive web that we have today. Now, applications used to live on the desktop. Now, the web or cloud computing is the platform and unquestionably the future. But what does this really mean for businesses? Well, it means that in reality, we face a business world which has changed fundamentally. The way we work, the way we communicate, and the way we make decisions. The internet users are far more demanding and impatient than they were ever before. They expect everything to be online, including the stuff that can be found offline. And they're frustrated if we don't understand exactly what they want and when they want it. The web is also far more competitive than it has ever been before. So what does this mean for you, for the online world and you, the marketers and the business community? Well, we're nearly there. We're just approaching the end of the beginning. The UK is one of the most advanced online markets in the world. The consumers get it, and whilst perhaps not every advertiser in business does, we would argue we're probably at the beginning of the end of the beginning of digital migration. The digital frontier is still pushing forward at a very fast pace, so it's not enough for me to be telling you that you need to be online. You need to be online and doing it well on all fronts. Use the technology available. Now, what we have at our fingertips online is data and an opportunity to gain real-time insight into our audiences, customers, and also the markets. We call online a database of intentions because online can capture what users search for, where they go to consume information and media, how they behave, and how they interact with you. Now, with this insight, you can use the targeting capability or technology that digital gives you to communicate to your target audience at the right time and to influence all that for that little bubble, and to influence and service them at the relevant and appropriate opportunities. So digital technology can bring efficiency. Digital marketing in itself tends to be cost effective, targeted, measurable, and gets results. Now, Google AdWords, which is how Google make money and how we help businesses target their audience, is a very powerful way of targeting people who are looking for exactly what you're selling. But digital marketing can also help you get more out of your traditional marketing and sales activity. Through tools such as analytics and website optimizer, you can not just have fantastically attractive websites, but one that actually works and delivers results you want to the metrics you're targeting. And you will be hearing a lot more about those tools throughout the day. And why do we need to be so aware of this? Well, consumers are digital and their behaviour is changing faster than ever. 85% of the UK population is now online, up from 70% 2 years ago. In the UK, 90% of people say when they move house, they have to have broadband within the first month. About the same proportion of people say that they can live without a microwave or fresh vegetables. 1 in 4 top execs use mobile broadband and applications, and 2 million businesses are now using Google Cloud computing apps for their business needs, saving over 60% of their IT costs. £852 spent online per person in the UK in 2009. 28.5% of media spend is expected to be online in 2010 in the UK. 10% year-on-year increase, and when you go back 6 years, it was only 2% of media spend being spent online. 75% of internet users compare prices and options online. I find that surprisingly low. 83% of B2B buyers research online. And 1.4 million business owners look at an online video site every month, probably to see some of the 25 hours of video that's uploaded to YouTube every minute of every day. Now, Arvin's already mentioned it, but and some of you may already be aware that Google commissioned a piece of research by the Boston consultancy group called The Connected Kingdom. And some really interesting facts came out about the value of the internet to the UK economy. Now, I could stand here and read a list of how great the UK economy is through the internet. Three things really stand out for me there. The first is that Scotland stands out as a hotspot for online business. And to be honest with you, that's not really a surprise. I come up to Scotland quite a lot, and the enthusiasm and passion around digital in Scotland is phenomenal. The second is the success of small businesses. Online sales have grown by 43% every year, far quicker than a lot of large businesses. I suppose you could say, well, they've got more chance to grow, so that seems quite obvious. The third is the opportunity to export. Now, the UK is now a net importer of e-commerce goods and services, exporting £2.80 for every £1 imported. Although when you go deeper into the report, it actually states that as an exporter, Scotland has a long way to go. But there's a positive to that. There's a massive opportunity. And I see the whiskey business is taking full advantage of that opportunity with the announcement yesterday. So covering off these two areas in more depth, we know that Scotland is a hotspot for online business, but did you know there are about 1.4 million businesses in the UK that don't even have a website? That's nearly 30% of all businesses. Now, I heard a stat yesterday that said that a business with a website grows 4 times faster than a business without a website. So the message to that 1.4 million businesses is you need to be online. So in an area that often scares people due to the costs of web development and the technical lingo that's obviously sometimes thrown around, you know, it's quite difficult for these businesses to make a decision on what they're going to do. We know there are lots of good web developers, and I know there's lots of good web developers in here today that these businesses should be talking to. But Google decided that we would take action on this as well. So to try and help, we started an initiative at the beginning of the year to help businesses have a website for free. And so far we've helped over 90,000 of them get online with a free .co.uk domain through our Getting Britain's Business Online website. Now, one such site that was set up was by a Glaswegian called Mark Coyle, who set up a motoring school, which he had tried to establish in the 80s, but didn't make it work. So he tried to re-establish it, and he said that in the 80s, almost all business for driving schools came through word of mouth. Nowadays, the internet is just as powerful a tool as that. And this tool has already helped me to establish my business again. So now there's no reason not to have a website, to extend your business reach and to find new market opportunities, whatever your business is. The third point from the report is that the UK is great at exporting, although, as I've said, there is a major opportunity for Scottish businesses here. But what are the factors that are encouraging this trend? Well, the first is the economic environment. The decline in pound makes exporting more attractive for UK businesses, whilst we've seen a growing import trend in Europe, fueled primarily by economic downturn and slower digital adoption. Consumer behaviour. We see European consumers are using the internet far more for more choice and better deals, and we're also seeing European internet penetration growing and e-commerce activity accelerating. Historically, Europe has been far behind the UK in internet penetration. And there's also a lot of government incentives in the UK. Over the past 18 months or so, UK trade and industry has been incentivising local businesses to export, and they've formed strategic alliances with companies like ourselves to help UK businesses online, export. And finally, internal data from our side, we see the marketing costs and opportunities are cheaper to export for businesses from the UK than marketing in the UK itself. Businesses alone can see drastically cheaper cost per clicks, which is how you buy Google AdWords, in Europe than they can in the UK. So clients are now targeting overseas markets through that process. And why just stop at Europe? Why not expand out even further? Now, we've loads of information that can help you with the Google Export Advisor, and there's another URL there for you to take note of. This will give you a lot of information on how you can export abroad. So, in conclusion, yes, online is moving fast, and yes, consumers get it. It's your businesses that have to keep up. The sector is coming of age. The internet is a pillar of the UK's economy and is going to be vital to the UK's future prosperity. And with that, I'd like to say thank you very much.